Welcome back to Whisky Whims with me, Stuart. Today we've got a pretty special bottle, I'd say. This was purchased for my Christmas last year. Quite fitting that I've just finished it at Christmas time. It cost around £250, maybe £275, depending on where you shop. I don't know how much it cost because it was gifted to me. The cost was spread across 4 people, so like a split. Yeah, it's a 30-year-old Blair Athol jam on toast single cask from Wemyss Malts, 237 bottles, first fill sherry hogshead, which is quite surprising because there's not a lot of colour there. Maybe it wasn't a really wet cask. I was also trying to figure out if it was maybe like a kind of flushing job, like the sherry was just in there and then out there so that they could sell it. But I'm not sure how common that was back in kind of 1991, round about then. But anyway, I think the colour's quite mental that it's that light. What else have we got to say? 50.6% ABV. It comes in a lovely box. It was the centrepiece of my whiskey collection. And yeah, it's now dead. This is literally all I've got left of it. As you can see, the bottle's dead. This was opened on the 31st of October, the night before my wedding. We tried it, my father-in-law and I tried it. Didn't really think much of it. It wasn't the neck pour, so maybe it needed to open up. It just wasn't that great, and it said jam on toast on the bottle. We didn't get anything like that. Then on the wedding day itself, this was shared out amongst a few guests, and I had this recently at my wife's papa's and shared out the kind of last 4 drams, so this is the last 5th dram. So that's basically, there was 5 drams left after the wedding, so it just goes to show you how much was shared out there. But anyway, that's what it's about. We'll get down to the nose, the palate, the finish, see if this is a whiskey win or a whiskey bin, and I've just spilt a little bit of the remainder that I've got. So on the nose, yeah, it's completely opened up, which is great because Stevie at least was really disappointed because he thought he'd picked or selected between them an absolute belter of a whiskey and a 30-year-old Blair Athol. But yeah, it's definitely opened up. There's strawberry laces for sure. There's a kind of syrupy honey stickiness to it. We're all combining some notes. Like, I've not made any notes, but we're all combining notes when I had this the other night at my wife's papa's. We all kind of agreed that it was actually one of the standouts from the night, and we had some spectacular drams that night. It is a little bit of like wood forward as well. There's quite maybe not quite unique, but there's quite a lot of wood influence there, which makes me think that the cask can't be tired. But I'm not sure. There's definitely maltiness is present in the form of, I don't know, I'm not going to say toast. I think that's too nail on the head with the jam on toast smell. I'm not getting a lot of jam on the nose, but I'm getting those strawberry laces, and it's malty. It's like barley rather than toast. Yeah, it's quite fragrant as well, quite aromatic, and I'm getting those fizzers that you get from Swizzler or Swizzles, I think it's a Scotch candy or a UK candy, I've said before. They're like Refreshers or Parma Violets, those same manufacturer, but they're called fizzers. So yeah, and it's definitely sweet. I think it's a great nose. And the wood influence, the oak, really helps balance out the sweetness to it. Yeah, it's great. The palate. Now, there's a bitterness straight away from possibly the cask or something, or maybe the sherry that 30 years in. It doesn't say finish, it just solely says matured, so I'm going to take that that's been in the sherry for 30 years, which would be mental. But there is like a bitterness, maybe tannins or something there initially, but then there's like jam, there's raspberry roly-poly kind of cake, once you let it open up. You definitely need to give this one time to open up and time to sit in the glass. This has been sitting for a little while because on the night we had this at her papa's, we had this in the glass for, it was probably the longest one in the glass. It must have been in the glass for like half an hour. The other ones were drunk a lot quicker, but this sat for quite a time because of how much was going on with it. So yeah, there's more honey. The nose is more syrupy in the scent is more syrupy in the nose, or it's more syrupy in the nose, and then in the palate it's more honey. Yeah, there's like I said, it's pretty much what it says in the tin. Jam on toast. The palate's definitely, like I was saying with the bitterness, it's definitely got that kind of toast element. Where when you toast bread, it does gain some sort of bitterness to it. There's also probably some apricot there. There's a little bit of orange, just a touch. Possibly, I'm trying to think, like maybe like a flavouring. It's not that strong with the orange, but it is there. Maybe just like I don't know, maybe even like a kind of dehydrated orange. Yeah, it's creamy as well. There's a lot of thickness there. There's a lot of oiliness. The finish is wet casks, wet wood or wet oak there. There's a little bit of a spiciness, a little bit of a pepperiness as well in the finish, and there's more of the kind of sweetness coming through from the palate. I forgot to say, like, on the palate, it just, the bitterness is there, but there's also a burst of juicy fruits, like red fruits, on the palate. Just as soon as you take it, I just love it. It's just great. Yeah. Once you acclimatise maybe your palate to the bitterness, or just the whiskey, you acclimatise your palate to it, you get this burst of juiciness. Juicy red fruits for sure. Not dried fruits, definitely just fresh, juicy red fruits. Yeah, the finish, more of those kind of tannins there, more of a bitterness following on from the wet wood or the wet cask. I need to go outside and lick a tree, see what it tastes like, because the finish is like that. Yeah, I think that's all I'm getting. It is a pretty complex whiskey. It probably needs more of a live review rather than a short 10-minute video, because it does deserve the time and the patience, because it's a spectacular whiskey with a lot going on, and it's dramatically changed from the first opening. So we'll get down to my rating, and I am going to use sentiment here and use my power as the god of this channel. That sounds a bit cringy and a bit what's the word, egotistical. But yeah, it's my channel. Anyway, why I'm saying that is because I'm going to say that I wouldn't buy it again because of the price. And there's other Blair Athols that I can get enjoyment from. I don't think it's worth it. Sorry, if you're new here, how I rate my whiskies on 3 factors. Would I buy it again? Do I think it's worth it, and would I recommend it? I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm quite excited and I'm enjoying it. So I wouldn't buy it again. I don't think it's worth it, but I would 100% recommend it. So technically, from my rating, this should be a whiskey bin, but using my powers as the channel host, it's a whiskey win. It's fantastic. If you were to split this, it would probably be worth it. I'd probably say, yeah, that's worth it. But I just wouldn't buy a bottle just because the price, $250. It's still not bad for a 30-year-old. It's just a lot for a Blair Athol. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic whiskey that has now a special place in my heart with the wedding, with the night with her papa, and the little tasting we had. So there's a lot of good memories to go with this, and it is a fantastic whiskey. There's even a bit of there's a little bit of, is it smoke? Or maybe just a wee bit of like rubber or something. There's something now coming through in the nose. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a whiskey win. I hope you've had a great Christmas, and I hope you look forward to the new year, depending on when this comes out. But yeah, I've been Stuart, this has been Whisky Whims. I'll see you later.